On linear equations for standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Here are the rules for standard form. A, b, and c are whole numbers, so that means no decimals, no fractions. A and b cannot both be 0 in the same equation, and a must be a positive number. How to graph standard form negative 3x plus 4y equals 24. The shortcut for graphing from standard form is to find the intercepts. So we're going to find the x-intercept by plugging in 0 for y. So negative 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 24. When we solve for x, we get x equals negative 8. So the coordinate point that's going to go on our graph is negative 8, 0. We're going to find the y-intercept in a similar fashion, but by plugging in 0 for x. Negative 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 24. When we solve for y, we get y equals 6. The coordinate point that's going to go on our graph is 0, 6. So that graph, we plot our two intercepts and then connect it with a straight line with arrows on the end. Write the equation of a line that passes through the points 5, 6 and negative 3, 0 in standard form. We're going to start by calculating the slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. When you plug in all of your coordinates, simplify, we get the fraction of 3/4 is our slope. Point slope form. We have a point, 5, 6. We have a slope, 3/4. We plug it into point slope form, y minus y1, which is 6, equals m, which is 3/4, parentheses x minus x1, which is 5. And if we want it in standard form, we need to follow the rules. ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are whole numbers. A and b cannot be 0, and a must be positive. So what that means is we need to get our constants on one side and our variables on the other. So we're going to start by distributing the 3/4. Add 6 to both sides. And then since I need ax and by on the same side, I'm going to subtract that 3/4 x, bring it over to the same side the y is on. Next thing I need to do is I need to get rid of all of my fractions. I'm going to get rid of all my fractions by multiplying by the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator here is going to be 4. But I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 4 in order to make the x term positive. When I distribute that negative 4 to everywhere, I get 3x minus 4y equals negative 9. So again, we needed to distribute, get all the constants on one side, subtract x to move it over to the same side as y, and then multiply by the number that would make sure that the a value was positive and that we had no fractions. The equation 10x plus 5y equals 40 models how you can give 40 cents in change if you only had dimes and nickels. We are going to graph the equation, we're going to list the domain and range, and we are going to find the x and y intercepts and explain what they represent in the context of the problem. So, to graph the equation, I need the intercepts. To find the x-intercept, I plug in 0 for y. I get x equals 4, the x-intercept is 4, 0. The y-intercept, same idea, but I plug in 0 for x, solve for y. My y-intercept is 0, 8. So then I'm going to graph, put both my intercepts on there, connect my intercepts with a line. I'm not going to put arrows on this one because I don't need them in terms of the domain and the range. So the domain is the possible x values. The lowest x value I can have is 0 because I can't have a negative number of dimes, and the biggest x value I can have is 4. The range, the lowest value I have is 0, and the highest value I have is 8. What do the x and y intercepts mean? They are as follows. The x-intercept means you can have 4 dimes and no nickels to get 40 cents in change, and the y-intercept means you can have 8 nickels and no dimes to get 40 cents in change.